Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Red Angel, a Japanese war drama romance from 1966 that was directed by a man by the name of Yasuzo Masumura, a very underknown and underappreciated director who has made some very good stuff. Now this is set in 1939 during the Second Sino-Japanese War, and a young nurse is sent to the field hospitals in China to assist doctors in treating severely wounded Japanese soldiers, a situation that becomes progressively worse as the Japanese army encounters some setbacks. Now this nurse finds herself the nighttime prey of hungry soldiers, and she's awash in a sea of blood and torn bodies on the battlefield and in the medical tents. Now despite the hell around her, she struggles to maintain her strength and compassion, but her attempts at salvation with an amputee soldier and a morphine-addicted surgeon could lead to her own downfall. Now, at the very beginning of this film, we have a head nurse who warns her subordinates, one of whom is our main protagonist, that many soldiers will fake their own fevers and other medical ailments in order to avoid fighting on the front lines, and the nurses are instructed to look out for these tricksters. So right from the start, the Japanese soldiers are not portrayed in a positive light. In fact, there are a few scenes early on that will paint these soldiers in a very negative light, despite the fact that this is a Japanese film. Now, on the other hand, we have many moments involving soldiers, Japanese soldiers, that paint them in a sympathetic light as well. You know, this film completely avoids propaganda to support Japan's ideals during the war. Instead, it focuses on individual characters who are participating in like a horrible conflict. And, so even as an American watching this movie, I felt sympathetic towards the characters in this film. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about Red Angel. You know, it takes a multifaceted approach in its portrayal of Japanese soldiers during World War II. It shows their depraved, animalistic misconduct, as well as the horrific situation that has driven them to the brink of sanity. Now, as you might expect, Red Angel is an intense viewing experience. I mean, heck, right from the opening 10 minutes, it's going to impact you. Now, the violence here is a blend of off-camera inferences as well as on-camera surgery sequences. This is not nearly as gory as a lot of war films out there that I'm sure you've seen, but it does get a bit bloody at times. It is shot in black and white, however, which makes the those bloodier moments easier to watch. In any case, the goal of Red Angel is not to disgust the viewer. The goal of this film is to emotionally impact the viewer. So it takes a mostly classier approach to its depiction of wartime suffering. Now, the lengths to which this nurse is willing to go to save these soldiers' lives or comfort them in their times of need is almost excessive. It really is. It actually could be offensive to some viewers because I'm not exactly sure that even I agree with her methods, since they are rather self-depreciating and even humiliating for her character. It's definitely a bit on the edgy side, this film, but it poses an interesting question. How far would you be willing to go to help people in this mess of a situation? And there's a considerable emphasis on sexuality and sensuality and romance in this film, amidst all of the carnage and disease and all that kind of stuff. Now, the fact that everyone on the front lines does not expect to live much longer creates a situation where, emotion and animalistic desires are accentuated. You know what I mean? If you don't know if you're going to live tomorrow, morality kind of gets thrown out the window sometimes, right? Now, this is where the romance comes into play, though it's certainly not a conventional one. And that's another interesting element to Red Angel. And thankfully, we get some very good conversations between the characters to help flesh out and explore all of those themes or romantic subplots. Also, the lead actress is really good in this. Her name is Ayako Wakao, who also starred in a number of Masumura's other films, if you've seen any of them. The key to this role in particular is her temperament. This character is a bit dazed by her situation at first, because she's thrown into this, this pretty horrific scenario. But she also has a determination that makes her very effective at her job. Ayako definitely nails that temperament very well. Now, if you go into this film expecting a lot of battle scenes, you will be disappointed. There's really only one good battle sequence near the end, but that's not the emphasis of this film. It's more of a drama, less of an actioner or thriller. But it's only 95 minutes long, and I think it's properly paced. So I definitely recommend Red Angel, which is one of Masumura's better films in my opinion. This is a great introduction, I think, to this director. It is moderately available on Region 1 DVD with English subtitles. And as always, I will see you next time.